Welcome to the Hollywood Raw Podcast. Over there is Adam Glyn. I am Dax Holt on the West Coast. We have got our Raw rundown today. We're going to get into the top entertainment stories of the week. We got a great episode coming up for you guys today. We're going to get into a lot of huge stories. Sabrina Carpenter very upset with the White House. We're going to talk about that. Matthew Perry's parents putting out a statement towards this doctor who essentially was the person who gave him this ketamine that led to his death. They are writing about their feelings. We're going to get into Dave Coulier, who's got another form of cancer. This poor guy who had just gotten over. We're going to get into what cancer he has. And then we'll talk a little bit about Kim Kardashian's MasterClass, whether or not you think this is going to be helpful. And, of course, Miley's engagement. We're going to get into all of that and our opinions on a lot of these topics and some of the background insider information that we've got. So stick around. Adam, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. So, Dax, this past week we dropped an episode. I talked to the host of the documentary podcast, Jeff Cerulli, my buddy. He's like a film connoisseur. We kind of talk about Timothy Chalamet and more, and documentaries. I love documentaries. I don't know if you're a documentary guy, but I love documentaries. But this past week, you and I had a little bit of a unique week because last week we had Johnny Bananas on the podcast. Yeah. Great interview. Love Johnny. He's fun. He's interesting. He's just a character, and I enjoy him. He's a fun guy to hang out with. But we released the episode. During the episode, he talks about his hookup with Lindsay Hubbard from Bravo Summer House, right?
Yeah.
We dropped the episode. The episode does very well. It does well on social. The clips on TikTok sort of blow up. Then all of a sudden, a news outlet, I think it was Page Six, picks it up. The story goes big. Lindsay Hubbard responds to the story saying this is pretty much bullshit, Johnny. We never had sex. But she never said we never hooked up. She just says we never had sex.
No, I think she did say you need to check out, you need to have the lesson with birds and the bees lesson. Like, you actually have to have sex to make a baby. We never hooked up, I think was the quote.
Yeah, which was weird because there was a story about a year ago when this story took place that they did hook up, and she never addressed that then. So she kind of outs Johnny Bananas. The story becomes a little viral. Johnny Bananas responds and saying, kind of like a tongue-in-cheek back at her on his Instagram story. So I don't know what happened, but you did reach out to Lindsay Hubbard.
I did reach out to Lindsay. I reached out two ways. I DM'd her just to be like, hey, and this was before the story even really started. I could see that it was starting to pop on socials. Like, the TikTok was version of the video was getting a lot of views. The IG video was really blowing up. So I'm like, I better reach out to her and just see, do you want to come on? Do you want to respond? So I did DM her. Didn't hear anything back. I remembered, oh shit, I've got her phone number from BravoCon 2 years ago. So she had given me her number. So I texted her, no response. So, but then she did post that thing on IG. So maybe that was just her way of being like, well, look, I'm not coming on the podcast, but I will talk about it in my own IG post. So she definitely wasn't happy. But nevertheless, there's his story, her story. But I will say both of them are brilliant in the PR media manipulation. Both of them get the game, I think. And that's why I think she talked about it. It made headlines. He talked about it, made headlines. They're both so smart when it comes to media savvy.
Well, it's weird because you reached out to her before the video started blowing up on social media. Then you reached out to her, which she didn't respond. And then I guess a day or two later, it appears in the paper, and then she responds. It's like, hey, at what point are you going to respond? Come on the podcast. Do you think we did anything wrong by allowing Johnny to say that statement? Because some people are like, hey, that's a terrible thing to say.
But that's his statement. That's not our statement.
No, exactly.
We asked him about a situation. He responded. I think we did the right thing by also reaching out to Lindsay to be like, you come on, you tell your side. I think it's more messed up when you get one side of the story, but you don't ask for the other side. That's when I feel like that's not cool.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see how it's going to be interesting the next time those two run into each other. I wonder if there was a text message exchange in between them. Was there DMs response like, hey, what the hell? What'd you do?
I doubt it.
They're just playing into it.
They probably just ignored each other and they're like, yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's enjoy this moment that we're both just getting massive amounts of coverage online.
Dax, I started watching a new show, a show that people everywhere have been recommending me on Netflix, The Beast in
Okay.
Me with Claire Danes. And
Oh, I have heard some good stuff about that.
so I tried watching it. I got to be honest with you. Claire Danes, I dislike her so much,
Why?
personally and professionally. Number one, professionally, I will say this: the show, she's very hard to watch. In some ways, she always is like crying. She's always like frantic. She's very, I don't know if it's overacting or if it's perfect her role. I can't tell the difference because she's a very frustrating character. I can't get into it. I tried watching it. I know some people love the show, but I have an issue with people who I've met on the streets and they're not kind and not nice, and I can't support their work. So Claire Danes is one of them. I remember being on the street outside the Monkey Bar in New York City about 13 years ago. She was outside with her husband, and they were like waiting for a taxi or an Uber. And I went up to her. This is when she was on Homeland. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know how much I enjoy Homeland. You know, I wasn't asking for a photo, wasn't asking for an autograph. She was outside just waiting for her. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the show. It's something I look forward to every week. And her and her husband like shooed me off. Like they couldn't, they had no interest in hearing it from me. They had no interest in caring. And I was like a passerby walking through. I even had the position like I was like going to keep walking. I was going to sit there and hold their time. And they were such bad energy. I was like, dude, fuck. Like I have it out for you. I do not like you. And I just remember how angry I was. And you know, again, there might be some people who have had good interactions with her. I had one, and it was so bad that I was like, I don't know how she could fix it. I've never had an experience that negative before with a celebrity, especially when you're just praising their work outside. They're not sitting eating food. I was like literally a passerby, like, hey, you know, like there's some celebrities who I know hate paparazzi or hate like the, but when they're walking through New York City, I had it recently. I forget who it was.
Do you think she just gets? Here's the question: do you think that celebrities are almost? They're just so immune to it at this point that they hear people say stuff every day that like if they really took the time to like acknowledge every person, it would be like too much. Does that make sense? Like you saying, hey, I really like your show. I really like your work. She maybe hears it so often that she's just like, oh, okay. And just walks on when not realizing that little interaction means a lot to the other person on the other side, even if it's a dumb interaction.
You are totally correct. That is a perspective. However, it doesn't, all you have to say 2 words, thank you. And in that circumstance, I never got a thank you. It was total asshole. I mean, I've seen celebrities who are anti-paparazzi, anti all that stuff all the time. I actually saw someone recently and who I know who'll never talk to me. They don't know who I am on camera. I was like, hey man, big fan, love your work. And they're like, hey, thanks so much. Like, I appreciate it. Like, actually, I saw, whatchamacallit, the guy who's married, is it Benji Madden or Joel Madden? Which one? Who's married to Cameron Diaz from Good Charlotte? Forget which one of them. I saw them in the city with their kid, and you know, again, I never really want to approach them with their kid. And I was like, hey man, just huge fan, man. I wish you the best. You know, and the same, like, hey, turned around and said, hey man, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I didn't bother him too much. Like, hey man, just big fan. I wish you the best. Same thing happened with Pink recently. Like, Pink, I asked for a photo. She turned me down. And I said, I just want to let you know.
She was with her kid. We do have to.
She was with her kid.
So
that one. Wait, hold on. Before you say that,
gives her the okay to say no.
100%. I don't disagree with that. To her defense, too. And I only asked for the photo because I just wanted to put it in your face because I know you're such a Pink fan. But I just said, hey, she turned me down. I was like, hey, she was very kind to turning me down, by the way. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I think you're so talented. I just hope you have a great time in New York City and experience. And she was she's like, hey, thank you so much. That's like a very sweet thing to say after I sort of rejected you. And I have no ill will. Like it was a nice rejection.
I had a funny moment where I felt like an asshole in Vegas. We were walking down. I was with my kids, my wife. We're walking down the strip, and this guy's like, hey. And I thought he was one of the guys that pass out the little, like, cards. You know what I'm saying? The ones with, like, the naked women on them. And, like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm just brushing him off, like, dude, like, I don't have time for this crap. I'm with my kids. Please don't give me one of these damn cards. But he, like, kept following and yelling. And come to find out he was just a TMZ fan.
No.
And then by the time, like, I gave him the time, I was like, what? And he was like, hey, I loved you on TMZ. Big fan. And I'm like, oh, Oh, I'm sorry. I legit thought he was like trying to like peddle something to me, not like actually get my
Yeah,
attention to
yeah.
talk. I felt like
Oh,
an
that's so
asshole for
funny.
it. Like, and then I just kept playing it over in my head for the next like 20 minutes. Like, man, I really gave off an impression that I could give two fucks, and I felt bad.
Yeah, I remember being in Cape May, New Jersey at like 12:30 at night, walking down like the ocean, walking down like on the beach boardwalk. It's empty. And who would I
Yeah.
run into? I ran into Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers.
Oh,
I was like, hey, man, just want to let you know I'm a big – you love that guy?
well, I love the show.
Dick!
The show I
I'm not a
love.
fan of the show.
You
Actually,
don't like
Brian
the
Q
show?
is
The
a very
show
nice
is so funny.
– it's not my cup of tea. I like – I like Jackass.
You
To
don't
me,
have
it's
humor,
like –
so I get it.
no, I have too much humor, and I don't have enough to give to everyone. So, well, that's besides the point. I have to say the guy Brian Q, very nice guy. Sal Volcano, very nice guy. James Murray, a little bit awkward, a little bit weird. And then the other dude, this guy, what's the guy's name? The guy I just mentioned, his name is Joe Gatto. I ran into him like the empty street, right on the beach, pretty much the boardwalk. Late at night, someone was like, "Hey Joe, I just want to let you know I'm a big fan." Who's Joe? You. And I don't know if he was fucking with me, but it came across being very much like a dick. And like he was like, "Oh, I'm not him." I was like, "You are." And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, I hate to tell you, but what I do for a living, but
Also,
I
just
know who
like
you are.
I also feel like when you're a celeb, making people feel comfortable is also, I feel like, part of your gig, because people already get nervous to come up and talk to you, to say hi. And if you make it super awkward, you make other people feel even 10 times more awkward by putting them in a situation where, like, because Jared Leto did that to me once when I asked him about Lindsay Lohan, and I thought they were going to beat me up, and he was joking, but he put me into such a weird situation because I didn't know he was joking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think celebs, they hold those cards in their hands, and so like you use it for good or for bad.
Yeah, no, 100%. I had two celebrities who I went up to, and they acted like they weren't them. I was like, I know who you are. One was Joe Gatto from Practical Jokers. The other one was Brittany Snow. I remember being in New York. She's like, I'm not Brittany. I was like, yeah, you are. Like I was like, then let me see your license. And she wouldn't show me her license. I was like, yeah, you're Brittany Snow. I know. And this was like 17 years ago. This one, she just got the show American Dream. But that part was like really annoying. It's like, dude, just don't be a dick. I don't know. I thought it came out very dickish, But yeah. All right. Today is our Raw rundown. We go over the top 10 stories of the week. How do we go over the top 10 stories of the week? It goes by Google search, it goes by data, and lastly, it goes by our personal opinions. Ultimately, comes down to the data, what you guys are clicking on. I always say this every week. If you've been in any single newsroom, they have screens where they're seeing what stories are getting the most hits. These stories we put in order based on the stories that got the most hits for this week in the world of entertainment news. Before we even do that, Dax likes to read reviews because he needs to practice reading out loud. Dax, do you have a review ready for us?
I do, thank God, because I really needed to practice today. My reading skills have been subpar recently. So this one comes from hashtag none of L and Z. That's the name. The title is Another Great Show, 5 stars. It says, really enjoyed the Johnny Bananas interview with an exclamation point. I felt like it was timely to read this one. So thank you. I like seeing your guys' feedback when we have a celeb on there, and then you take your time to go out of your way, go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. I do appreciate that. So thank you. Hashtag Nona of L and Z, and maybe that's how they're saying it. Nona of L and Z.
It's so weird, the names. I don't know if they give you the names or you make the names, but it's not your fault. It's very weird how they do that for leaving reviews. But thank you for the review, Nona. And if you want to leave a review, it's the best thing to do to support this podcast. Let's get to the Raw rundown because I got some tips I got to jump on. When I mean tips, I mean like some info, and I got to try to chase down celebs. Let's get to the Raw rundown, starting with number 10.
Number 10, Quentin Tarantino, really pissing off a lot of fans of the movie There Will Be Blood. He had some pretty harsh criticism of one of the stars of it, Paul Dano. And so what he did was he was recently on a podcast called the Bret Easton Ellison podcast, and basically tore apart Dano's work, specifically mentioning the 2007 Daniel Day-Lewis flick, but going after him, saying that he really is a bad actor, saying that he is probably one of the worst actors in SAG, that he should not have played that role, and that he suggests that Austin Butler should have been the one that would have done a better job playing that role that Dano basically played. Keep in mind, Austin Butler was 15 when they made that film, and Paul Dano was in his early 20s. So can you really compare those two? I don't think so. But he's really stirred up a lot of people online, very upset with him, saying that movie was amazing, that Paul Dano did a great job. It was actually the only acting job that Paul Dano has ever done. He got into movies, did that, and then got right back out and moved along with his life, saying that he didn't want to have this public life. He just wanted to be private, and now he works on an oil rig and he is happy with his life. And he's not even mad with what Quentin Tarantino said. He put out a comment saying, look, he can have his opinion just like all the people out there defending him can also have their opinion, but he's very proud of his work. He thinks he did a great job. And that's where he's going to leave it. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I've never seen the movie, so I have a hard time defending or having an opinion so much on this because I've never seen it. Have you seen the movie?
I saw the movie. I saw it so long ago. It was a great movie, but you got to remember, Paul Dano is working alongside Daniel Day-Lewis, probably one of the best actors in the last 2 decades. I mean, unbelievable actor, pure thespian. Also, Paul Dano is just so unlikable as a character. Sort of like I was saying about Claire Danes in the Beast in Me. She's so unlikable that you just want to be like, she sucks. And this thing, same thing is, he's just very unlikable. However, I mean, maybe that was part of what made it good, is just that he was unlikable. I don't know. It depends how you make the movie different. Like, for many, like, Dano's turn in the film remains like a defining performance of his career. It's dismissing, it's harshly undermines what the film has accomplished. I don't know. I think that there's so many stars in that movie that he didn't kind of leave up to the stars of it. But listen, I love that Tarantino spoke about it and gave his real opinion on it. Listen, it's a very harsh statement, but I appreciated him being honest about his opinion about the movie.
And I would say that. I would say he is entitled to his opinion. He can say whatever the hell he wants. I do think, though, it's a little weird to throw someone like Austin Butler in there, because now you're throwing in star power versus like necessarily the talent. You know what I'm saying? Because Austin Butler, I think he has become a massive star. So he's an easy name to throw into the mix. Back then, he wasn't a star. You know what I'm saying? True. So you can't really compare that. Yes, he's become this great actor and he's been Oscar nominated, but it feels like this is almost more of a star power thing versus just who could have played a better role at that time.
Yeah. Sometimes, though, like, there's imbalance in a movie as far as acting, but that's what makes it good. Again, I'm not a director, and that might have been part of why he was cast in it. It's sort of like an imbalance, which makes people feel uncomfortable, makes you feel a different way. Again, I'm not a director, or, I don't know. I don't see it like that, but I can understand where Tarantino's opinion is. I love Quentin Tarantino. I think he's just a very interesting, unique guy. He also said that Black Hawk Down is the best movie of the 21st century. Also on that list was Toy Story 3, Dunkirk, Zodiac.
This is his list?
His list. He made a list.
So funny.
Again, he does this. He was on the Brent Easton Ellis podcast. His list was Toy Story 3, Lost in Translation, Dunkirk, There Will Be Blood, obviously Zodiac, Unstoppable, Mad Max Fury Road, Shaun of the Dead, and Midnight in Paris. His list of some of the movies are the best.
It's funny.
Interesting list.
He puts There Will Be Blood in his top list, even though he is so offended by one of the actors and like one of the main characters in the movie. He still gives it that high of a rating. That's very interesting.
I think for him, he thinks that movie would have been the best movie if it wasn't for Paul Dano. And I think that's the argument. That's how much he hates Paul Dano.
Jeez.
I wouldn't say hates him, but disliked him in that role. Tough thing to say. All right, number 9.
Number 9, finding out a little bit more information about the Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan separation and how they split up their money. A lot of this stuff has been private, though. We knew that they had settled. This was a 6-year divorce that finally kind of had wrapped up, and we didn't really know a lot of the details. But it seems like each one of them is getting a chunk of each other's retirement plan. So TMZ, I guess, got their hands on some new legal documents that Jenna and Channing had signed off on. A 50% split of each other's retirement benefits from SAG, so the Screen Actors Guild, producers' pension plan. It's unclear how much of that slice of the pie is like truly worth, but I think this is a big win. I know that they were fighting over like Magic Mike money, right? Like what he is conceptually thought of during the marriage, but then didn't play out until after they separated. She also wanted a piece of that pie. So those details, however, are still kind of behind locked doors. But I will say it does seem like they are very much getting along at this point. They are co-parenting. All I've been reading was that they seem really good, which has taken an extremely long time to get to this point.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that they're both good? Like they're in a good place when you're fighting?
I think once you get the fighting over money out of the way, then you can now focus on just being good parents, right? Because there's so much contention when you're like, oh, I get this money. Oh, they had kind of separated a lot of their stuff prior. Like, all right, we know how we're going to separate it. It was the intellectual property stuff that was still an issue. And it was really the Magic Mike money that I think was getting under her skin. And so maybe by this whole like SAG pension, this kind of squashes that. Because who knows? This might be millions of dollars in SAG pension that now she feels like, okay, cool, I've been taken care of.
Yeah, I guess it gives her a more stable future based on that, you know.
And I like that it went. I'm happy though it went both ways. Like it wasn't, hey, she gets a chunk of his 50% of his. He also is getting 50% of hers. So it feels fair. Like, you know, he may end up getting less money than her, but at least it feels fair that they're both taking a chunk out of each other's.
So just to explain something, because this is just for me to understand, and I think some of our audience understand. When a document is sealed, can you guys decide whether it's going to become public information or not? Like, how do you kind of do that? How does that work?
No, if it is sealed, you're not seeing it. It's that's why we're not getting the information of the exact details of their divorce and their split. This was another court filing, and this filing wasn't sealed. So that's why reporters can go in there, pull this paperwork, and read the details of it. It just means that this one thing wasn't. That's why divorce filing. So what happens is at the courthouse, they will go file for a divorce, and there are reporters there at the courthouse daily sifting through every divorce that was filed in LA County or wherever, and they're looking for names to stand out. And then once they see that, that's how they report a celebrity divorce, which is crazy. Think about how many thousands of names you're sifting through, and you can't miss them. And you have to know, like if it's a celebrity, they may have a birth name and they may have a stage name. You would have to know the birth name. And I think that's the thing, like you'd have to catch. So you really have to like know your shit if you're working the court beat.
Yeah. All right. Number 8.
Sabrina Carpenter, super pissed off at the White House right now. She said that they used one of her songs without her permission. So she went on to X. She slammed the White House for using her song Juno. It was basically accompanying a video that they posted showing a bunch of individuals being detained by immigration and the customs enforcement. She said, look, this video is evil and it's disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda. So she fired off. She was just not happy about that. Listen, I think she's got a point here. Politics are so like dividing, and there's such a hotbed topic. I am surprised. What I don't understand, whenever you use music or you use a licensing, you have to go to the record label. You've got to license it. You got to use the music. Like how were they able to just use it? And we've heard this over and over again. I remember like Trump, I know, has walked out on the stage to like certain songs, and then you hear the artists come out and say they're so mad that they used the song. How are they getting the rights without the celeb knowing and then getting yelled at by the celeb at the end of the day? This has happened numerous times.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the legality of it. I think that would be a lawyer to explain how they're able to do that, because it is a copyright thing. Also, it's like an ethical thing. Who knows what the celebrity doesn't want to be pulled into your politics, because it is a very harsh thing. And I understand her speaking up, because you don't want to be the soundtrack for controversial policies that this politician
especially
has.
that one. Like that one's something that really pisses people off on both sides, right? Like whether you're for it, whether you're against it, whatever. But your song is playing over these visuals that immediately gives the viewer a connection to you, right? Like they're then like, oh, so wait, her music is playing. Did she give the rights? Is she cool with what's happening or whatever? And again, I just think as a celebrity, and I think a lot of stars are doing this now, especially musicians, is they're using their weight or their fame to basically go, no, do not use my artwork for your agenda.
Yeah.
And they can do that.
They can do that. Does she have can she sue? How does that work? I don't know.
It depends on how they got the music. I would think is what it really comes down to. If they truly did license it and whoever approved them using the video, I think they'd be the ones at fault, right? Like whoever it is at whatever record label, and they sat down and they said, yep, you're good to use that music. They're the ones that are probably going to take the fall for this.
Number 7,
Matthew Perry's mom and his stepdad are now slamming the quote unquote greedy doctor who is most culpable for the actor's death. So we know right now that that doctor who was at fault for Matthew Perry's 2023 drug-related death is up for sentencing. And
no, he did. He got sentenced. I'm sorry. He got sentenced on Wednesday. 2.5 years in prison.
Oh shit!
It was an emotional. Yeah. So it was 2.5 years in prison for apparently it was very emotional. The judge, Sharon Peace Garnett, handed down a sentence that included 2 years of probation and a $5,600 fine to the 44-year-old doctor, Dr. Salvador Plasencia, in Los Angeles.
So his parents had basically wrote a victim impact statement to send to the judge so that they could have their voices heard as well. And they were just like, how do you measure grief? Can you possibly provide any rational accounting? The bottom falling out, yes, that. And they went on to say that here was a life so entwined with ours and held aloft sometimes with duct tape and baling wire, with anything that might be kept. Listen, I read this. It was very confusing. I'm not going to lie. I felt like they were using, instead of just saying like our hearts are broken, I felt like they were intertwining all this stuff. But it went on to say, with anything that might be kept, the big terrible thing from killing our firstborn son and our hearts with him. And then those greedy jackals came out from the dark and all the efforts is for naught. It all crashes down. Like it sounded like a poem. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
yeah, I mean,
letter sounded like a poem.
It's a very. The doctor is definitely guilty. He prescribed something and didn't really give it out. He didn't diagnose, maybe not diagnose, but didn't really prescribe well, especially when you're giving that type of drug.
Can I say something that might be a little controversial?
Sure.
I think that this doctor in the Matthew Perry death, I think that he is taking the fall, right? He obviously did something that was wrong. He gave medicine that he should not. He gave over this ketamine that ultimately led to Matthew Perry's death.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, it would have been another doctor. When you have these massive stars like Matthew Perry, like Michael Jackson, they are so famous, they are so influential that if they don't get it from one doctor, they will doctor shop and go to the next doctor. This doctor happens to be the one that gave him the stuff that led to his death. But I'm sure there were numerous doctors along the route that just gave him because he's powerful, he's rich, and these doctors they love it. They love being around someone famous. And so I think if this guy would have stuck by his doctor license and said, sorry, I can't prescribe this ketamine, I can't get you anymore, he would have gone on to the next doctor, and that doctor would have been the one that took the fall. I think this happens all the time in Hollywood. People prescribe shit that they shouldn't because they're star fuckers, is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we see in the media, we see celebrity doctor? Now, are they a celebrity, or is it because they work on celebrities? It's a marketing tool. In this circumstance, it's weird because is the subject Matthew Loss's battle to drugs, or is it Matthew was let down by doctors? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to kind of consider in the opinion on. Ultimately, it just sucks all around. Obviously, it's terrible. It's terrible.
It just sucks because he is such a beloved actor, but he had so many demons in his past. He was a drug addict. Like, let's not cover the fact that he was a drug addict and he struggled with this for many years. And there's a reason that he was constantly asking for more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Matthew Perry. I loved his work. But I think it was an unfortunate story. And he himself even knew one day he was going to die from this stuff, because that's the road he was living on. He was lucky to even be alive. Remember his book? He was like, I should have been dead. He said it. He's like, he had numerous near-death experiences. This day was coming.
Yeah. Number 6.
Dave Coulier from Full House, everyone loves. He had dealt with, obviously, some pretty big cancer battles. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He went through the whole process and ended up getting a clean bill of health. He is now 7 months later and reveals that he has a new cancer diagnosis.
Ugh.
He has got, I know, it's freaking awful, dude.
Yeah,
he now has a new one, which is a HPV-related orthopharyngeal tongue cancer. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that big old long word with a bunch of letters, but it's basically like a tongue cancer. He said that he has been going in every couple of months to do PET scans and keep an eye on his cancer, and everything else looks really good. He then went, they saw something flare up, I guess, in his tongue. They took a biopsy, which he said was super painful because they literally go to like the back of your throat, cut a piece of your tongue out. And he said it was awful because everything you do, every time you eat, every time you swallow, you just feel this burning sensation. They said they scanned it. It didn't look too crazy. They rescanned him and it flared up again. So he was referred over to like a ear, throat, mouth doctor. They took another biopsy, a bigger biopsy out of his tongue, and it came back positive for this cancer. So and the doctor said, look, this is not related to the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. This is something completely new. He's like, God damn, like, how am I, like, what kind of luck is this? I get 2 cancers. Like, I just got over the last one. So, but this one, they did say is very curable, like a 90% cure rate. So unfortunately, he's already started radiation. It's like every day for a couple weeks, and he's going to be going through all this radiation, but he should be cured before we know it. Just like, man, that sucks.
It sucks. I respect how he kind of went, like I want to say it's a terrible situation. I think a lot of people, when they first found out that he was sick, they kind of felt for it. Obviously Bob Saget passed not that long ago, and then you hear Dave Coulier kind of going through something. I think people got worried. Then he just went on the Today Show. He's not going like on like a tour kind of doing it. He's like, I just want to fill you guys in on what's going on. And definitely not the news that people wanted to hear. Actually, I got a tip on him later that day to interview him after he did the Today Show interview where he announced that he had cancer for the second time. And I turned down. I was like, I'm not going to go for that. It's not necessary for me. It's too much of a weird, sensitive subject.
Yeah.
That I felt comfortable with him talking about. Now, maybe he wanted to talk about it for people to make sure they go to a doctor, but I was like, how do I do it and not be like a dick, not sound like a dick from my experience. So I don't know. Terrible news, not the news people want to hear, but it seems like he's in good spirits and staying positive and strong and focused and on to the next step. Number 5.
Kelly and Sharon Osbourne, they celebrated what would have been Ozzy's 77th birthday on Wednesday, December 3rd. They both put up some really kind of like heart-moving tributes to him on their social media. Sharon had posted, "My darling husband, I celebrate the day you were born. I will never let go of your hand until I see you on the other side." And then Kelly had ended up posting hers, and she goes, I miss Ozzy's smile. I promise to never stop smiling." And it was like a video of him and his awesome smile. Just, I feel so bad for them. Like,
Yeah,
you can tell their hearts are just broken into pieces. Do you remember, like, Sharon and Ozzy almost got divorced? Do you remember when
I
they
do.
were going through like a really rough patch, and then they were able to like reconnect? And I just love the love that they have for each other, and the fact
Yeah.
that Kelly also said that I guess she was sleeping like in the same bed as her mom, because her mom was so sad about not having that other person in the bed with her. She was just so lonely that Kelly was like going and like sleeping with her to like keep her. I'm like, this poor family. I feel so bad.
So I started doing on my own research, doing kind of a recap of like stories that we kind of went over in 2025. And, we lost a lot of great people. Two of them happened within like 10 days of each other. It was Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And I think they're just two very, not powerful, just like significant people in entertainment, news, culture, just culture itself. And it was like, whoa. Yeah, I like that they're still honoring, they're still making us think about him. They could have just did a little bit of a tribute, but it makes us just, obviously we're getting towards the end of the year. We're trying to reflect on this past year, and like, man, like Ozzy Osbourne is no longer with us. I'm happy that they, like we said, we spoke about when he did. I'm happy that they were able to do that farewell concert before he passed, and it's just coincidental.
The timing on that, how
Unbelievable.
perfect was that? Where everyone could come celebrate his life, all of his friends in one place taking photos. Like, it really was the most amazing timing.
You know what I thought was kind of cool? And I'm not giving this person credit by any means, because I hope that any president would do this,
Yeah.
but like, I thought it was cool that Trump left a message for Sharon Osbourne when Ozzy died, and just
Well,
said
she
how,
said that.
like,
She
she
said,
did. But I thought that was
she
very
goes,
cool.
She goes, at the
that
end
he
of the
did that.
day, it doesn't matter if you like him or you don't. He took the time to give her a call and say his condolences. He was very close with Sharon for many years, from doing The Apprentice and other things, that she goes, I appreciate it. Whether or not you like his politics or you like him, it was the president of the United States giving her a call because he knew she was hurting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
By the way, did you see that, like, the Osborne family, I guess they're selling merch of, so when he passed, Roger Waters kind of came out with a statement kind of shitting on Ozzy. And now the Osbournes are sort of selling merch kind of going after Roger Waters, and which is just, or I think it's funny. I think it's great because Roger Waters to me sucks.
I was
A
like,
little
this
anti-Semitic.
this gives Roger Waters exactly what he wants, and that is fucking attention. Like, the guy is constantly craving attention. He's one of the most annoying celebs on the planet. He never has anything positive to say. Like, Roger Waters needs to just go away. Like, honestly, him even getting back into the mix, like, leave people alone. Stop talking crap on everyone. Just go away, Roger Waters.
But I do love that the Osbournes are monetizing the drama a little bit, just a little bit,
Why
and
not?
I
As they
think it's
should.
great. Yeah,
Go for it.
go
I
for
don't
it.
know. Some people probably don't like that because they feel like, oh, you're doing a money grab. It looks opportunistic, but I feel like these moments, you either seize the moment or it goes by and then you regret that you didn't do anything.
Yeah, are you honoring Ozzy, or are you actually monetizing the drama? Regardless, fuck Roger Waters. Number 4.
All right. Well, if you want to be a huge global phenomenon like Kim Kardashian, she is set to be releasing her masterclass on branding. I know it sounds crazy, but this might be pretty damn good. It might be good.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
she's going to be sharing her secrets to success. She's teaching a new masterclass, and it's all about business. She has clearly succeeded in almost everything that she has done, minus the fact she hasn't passed the bar, but everything else she's done really good. So the MasterClass is going live on, it's Thursday of this week, so it would have already started by the time that this episode airs. But she's going to be teaching. She's got something that she is calling the 10 commandments of business, and the first commandment is you are the product.
You are the brand.
You are the brand. You are the product. You are the commodity here. She's commandment number 3 is define yourself before others do. Commandment number 6 is your customers are your co-founder. And I mean, she goes through all this stuff. Listen, you can hate her or what, but the woman has crushed when it comes to success. She has been very successful on television, in both as a reality star and as an actress. Her business with Skims. I mean, I was walking through Vegas and she has like massive skim store in Caesar's Palace in the Forum Shops. Like, she has freaking made it, dude. She is everywhere you look. And so a masterclass by Kim Kardashian, as crazy as it sounds, I think that this is going to do really well for her. And I think a lot of people who are craving success will go and will watch this. The problem that she's not going to say is, you have to be Kim Kardashian to get this level of success. This doesn't happen. It's abnormal. And it's like, this is not a normal thing to have lightning in a bottle like this.
Yeah, listen, I understand having that perspective. It's easy to say you have that perspective because, you know, her experience, her path is very unusual, but that's just how life goes. Like, everyone has interesting, unique paths. You know,
yeah, but this
she didn't come from from nothing. She came from something, but she is a proven brand builder, Dak.
All the stars had to align for Kim Kardashian to be Kim Kardashian, right? Like, it doesn't say commandment number 6 isn't do a sex tape, because a sex tape this day wouldn't work. It worked back then. Marry a massive rap icon. That doesn't have, like, everything lined up perfect for her to.
Would you say lined up, or was it timing? I mean, yes, lined up, timing and lined up goes that. But timing. Did she see that as opportunity? She saw, okay, what's going on in the world? Okay, right now that, I don't know, poly market is really big. I'm going to lean into poly market. I don't know if you saw in 60 Minutes, something that's going on trend-worthy right now. She leaned into the trends, and that's why she is a trend setter, a trend builder. You know, she's not just, like she said, she's not just selling products. She's shaping trends. She's shaping perceptions. She's shaping the idea of influence-driven entrepreneurship. You know, like, that's just what she's been very good at working with what is going on at the moment. I mean, you see that with the TV show. The reality show I think, does so well because the show comes out with the storyline that's going out in the media. They don't wait for it to come out 6 months later. They kind of do it almost in real time. So it kind of leans into what's going on at the moment, which I think she's a brand builder.
Her commandment number 4 is don't follow the feed, be the feed. Again, it's only something Kim Kardashian can say, right? Like, that is not something another non-influencer, someone that doesn't have a lot of followers, can say. But again, all of this is her. She knows how to command attention. She knows how to get headlines. She knows how to be just a little bit over the top so people will report on her. And I think it's smart, and I'm sure she's probably going to make a shit ton of money off of this.
I'm sure it's going to do really well. Here's my only hope for it, that it's not a motivation thing. I don't think people need motivation. I think some people need a little bit of strategy. You know, I think you could, listen, if she wants to explain her journey onto becoming insanely successful, that's great. But also include that with that strategy. Don't include motivation. I think people are already motivated enough to pay the money and sign up for it. They don't need extra motivation. They want to hear more strategy. I want to hear the mechanics of it. It's, I mean, listen, she's been very smart. She's been very great at what she's done. I mean, I always said she changed the game. She went to Hollywood and changed Hollywood. You know, it's not like, and then now Hollywood comes to her. All those biggest celebrities of the world that used to kind of laugh at her, they're all now coming to her and saying, I want to work with you. I want to align with you. And it's been really good. Dax, number 3.
Travis Kelsey is a big fat liar. Well, according to me, at least. He was on his podcast this week. George Clooney was on. And,
you really think he's fat? You think he's a big fat liar? The guy is
big fat liar.
NFL player.
But George Clooney was on, and George Clooney has famously said that him and Amal never have an argument, have never had one in 10 years. And Travis actually called him out for it and was like, oh, come on, like, you've never had an argument? And he goes, well, have you and Taylor ever had an argument? And he goes, oh, actually, no. In 2.5 years, we've never had an argument.
Smart. Do not have
shit.
Yeah,
bullshit.
You know what? Dax,
I don't believe it.
Smart move. Do not fight with Taylor Swift. You want this. He wants this relationship to work out just as much as everyone else. He knows he's about to change his life. He's about to become the first ever billionaire NFL player because he's going to be married into it. Do not fight with her. Agree with her on everything. Shut up. Hit your points and just keep moving forward.
That is not being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, every relationship has struggles, and if they don't, I think that there's a bigger problem there. That means someone is constantly caving and being a wuss and not expressing their own feelings. There is no way that they have not had an argument about, like, wait, you're really going to you're going to go there instead of come see me or whatever. Like, I am sure they've had it. I just think that it would make him look really bad if he acknowledged or said that, because then does that somehow tarnish her reputation in some way by saying they don't have this perfect relationship? It can still be the perfect relationship with arguments. That is normal. That is natural. That is what happens in relationships. So by him saying they never had it, I'm like, bull crap. Now you don't even seem like you're like, now I don't know what to believe that what you say.
So now I don't see. Yes, I agree with you there. However, pick and choose your battles. Don't fight over, like, house decoration ideas. Fight over, hey, I don't want pizza, I want sushi. Do that type of stuff. Like, you need to kind of humanize the relationship and make it more real. Fight over the most minor things. Other than that, Travis, smart move. Agree with her on everything and just hold everything. Be the butler that goes down on her and just keep moving forward.
Be the butler that goes down on her?
I mean, yeah.
What?
Seduce her, give her everything she wants. This guy is about to, again, he's going to be the first ever billionaire NFL player. As far as I can't think of another NFL player.
Yeah, right. That's going to be the most.
He's going to become the first ever NFL. In within a year, this guy is going to have more money. Travis Kelsey, who's a tight end,
it's not his
he's going to have more money than Tom Brady.
It's not going to be his money.
It's our money.
It's going to be a prenup that says the billions of dollars that she already has is hers. Yes, maybe the stuff that she makes when they're together is one thing, but she already has the most massive catalog. That money he is not touching. I am sure of it.
He's going to be able to take some money. He'll take money. Listen, he has to ask for permission to use some of that money. Hey, honey, I want to get a new gym in the house. What do you think about that? Do you mind if I go into the savings account a little bit? Sure. Hey, honey, I want to take the friends out on the plane. Do you mind if I take our plane? Or your plane out?
Plane. Yeah, sure. It's our plane now, right?
Yeah, it's our plane, right? Yeah, all right. I wonder if she changes her last name from Taylor to Taylor Kelsey. How bad? That would be insane. Yeah, she goes now by Taylor Kelsey.
Yeah, but a lot of celebs will take the last name. They just don't publicly take it.
Yes.
Right? So, like, she's Taylor Kelsey on paper, but Taylor Swift in public still. That's
Taylor Kelsey common. Doesn't have a bad ring to it.
It doesn't. But it works. Not Taylor Swift.
I bet you before she thought about her future with him, she's like, if it's going to be if it's meant to be, does my name flow with his last name? And I think it did. And she's
I think it totally
does. To be.
Taylor Kelsey. Taylor Kelsey does have a really good ring to it. It already sounds like a star name.
I actually think that has more of a star name than Taylor Swift.
Taylor Kelsey.
I think it's like a good country name, Taylor Kelsey. I'm just envisioning right now, like in billboards, like in Nashville, playing the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah,
it's good. Maybe she should consider it. And she then re-releases. She re-releases her albums under Taylor Kelsey, and people then buy those too.
When is she going to trademark Taylor Kelsey? I
I'm
wonder
sure
when
it's
she's
already
going to trademark
trademarked.
that. Could be.
I'm
We'd have to
sure
check
it's
for
already
that.
done. Yeah.
It's already a website. You can't buy that domain name. Taylor Kelsey's already domain. Number 2.
Spotify, it dropped its 11th annual Wrapped list. I was, listen, kind of surprised, but not totally surprised. But Bad Bunny is the number one person on the list as the top global artist for the year with more than 19.8 billion streams. It was like I was surprised, but not really, because I know how big of a star he really is. I think I'm just so used to when these lists come out, I'm just like, it's going to be Taylor Swift. It's just going to be Taylor Swift. I'm almost used to it, right? So for her not to be the number one, I think that was more of the shocking part. The Weeknd came in as number 3, Drake number 4, Billie Eilish number 5. The top global songs of 2025. This one was surprising to me. Die with a Smile was the number one streamed song of the world. It's a good song. I'm surprised it was number 1 though in my mind. And you know, it feels kind of slow, so I'm surprised. But Birds of a Feather came in number 2. APT by Bruno Mars as number 3. And then top global albums was the Bad Bunny album. Then K-pop Demon Hunters came in at 2. And then Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft was 3. Taylor did,
Any
however...
takeaways? Okay.
Well, Taylor did rank as the number 1 U.S. artist of 2025. So here's what I think. I think in the next year, Taylor wants that top spot. She wants to be the top global artist. I think that Taylor is going to put more of a focus on international, her international market. So what do you mean
by that? You think she's gonna come out with a Spanish album? What does that mean?
I don't think she's gonna come out with a Spanish album, but maybe she does collabs with Spanish-speaking artists, right? Like maybe we get a Taylor and Shakira song, and that instead of Shakira singing English in the song, she sings Spanish in the song, right? Like that would then immediately open up to the Spanish-speaking market, which is massive around the world. And I think that would help her out a lot. So I don't know how she's going to do it, but I'm sure there's going to be a focus on the international audience and consumers and how she pushes her music to them versus just kind of focused on the U.S.
Yeah, I think what this shows you is that I think there's been so much emphasis on artists, at least in America, focusing on the American charts where they need to put more focus on the global charts because there's just, I think there used to be some artists out there like saying, and I know this from talking to some of these people who are huge overseas but never made it here. And you've heard this before. I think actually Ozzy Osbourne just says to Youngblood, who I think Youngblood is super talented. He goes, you got to make it in America. You have to make it in America because you're so talented. Now, I don't know if that's accurate these days. Like, you don't have to make it in America. You can make it in South America, then eventually you bring it over to America. It's just, I think some artists, at least in America, have not really focused too much on the international market. I think it's there's going to be a lot of cross promo global stuff.
Here, okay.
Yeah, Taylor Swift wants this title. She wants this bad.
She wants it.
I think also this also, obviously, fortunately for Bad Bunny, this justifies him performing at the Super Bowl. This is what he needed for all the people that saying, hey, Bad Bunny doesn't deserve to be performing at the Super Bowl. I think now he does.
Yeah, 100%. But I will say, the one thing I was a little shocked about, over the last year, this Kendrick and Drake, their beef obviously exploded. Kendrick got the Super Bowl halftime show. It felt like Kendrick won everything. He dominated at the Grammys. He walked away with all the awards. He was the big winner. Drake was quiet. He seemed like the winner. Drake came in at number 2 on the charts as in the US charts for 2025. Kendrick came in at number 4. So at the end of the day, Drake ended up with more streams, more downloads, which equals more money. He won on that level with Kendrick. And I feel like we haven't heard from Drake at all. So I was surprised to see his name above Kendrick at this point.
I think what's interesting about this also is that, you ask an artist, would you rather be on the top of the charts or at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year on a streaming platform like Spotify, do you want to be the most streamed song or artist or whatever it is? I think it comes down to this, where like this ultimately, people aren't seeing the charts every year, but now people are sharing their list. It makes a lot of news. You're also you're not fighting for that weekly. Hey, we were the number one song for 13 weeks. You're fighting for that end of the year where you
It's
are on
more
the
of an honor
Spotify
when
charts.
cool, you
This
were the
because
top of the
people can actually
charts
see the
for two
data.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 weeks is great. How about 365 days? Like, that's way more impressive. Okay,
Dax, the
moving.
number one story of the week.
Miley Cyrus is engaged, and I guess the biggest, most shocking part is it was such a low-key announcement, so unlike Miley. Like, I'm so used to her being over the top and having the shock value, and instead she was just on Good Morning America doing an interview with Chris Connolly, and he was basically like, "Hey, so is there an engagement?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's an engagement," and like, that's it. Like, there's nothing. It wasn't this huge thing. Like, Taylor Swift obviously put up her photo, and that photo broke the internet, and it was like this whole hoopla. And Miley's was so opposite, just like, "Yeah, we're engaged and loving life and so happy." I mean, granted, her and her fiance have kept a very low profile. Her and Max don't really. They walk red carpets, they'll go to things, but like, you don't see much about them. Like, they're not a constant storyline. And I think that's really good for Miley. I feel like she has matured a lot over the years. She's moved away from this like shock value teenager that everything she does needs to be like over the top and crazy, to I'm just living my life, and I'm letting people in on the parts that I want to let them in and not on the other. And it's working for her. So congratulations to them. I think that's pretty cool.
You said, listen, I love how they did it. It was very subtle. It was very light. Miley Cyrus off the market, but she did kind of tie in while she's engaged, while she's promoting her new film album, Avatar: Fire and Ash, and
Well, she's got the new single that is on in the Avatar movie. Yes, and a lot of people are saying, okay, so you make it like it's not a big deal, but it's also coinciding with a music release. Like, that's a cheap gimmick. But
dude,
at the same time, that's what, like, we have to look at it. That is their business, right? Her selling music is her business, and if she can time a announcement of being engaged with a music release and this movie coming out, I don't fault her for it.
yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of age gap. He's 27 years old. She's
what, 33? That's not an 33 age gap. Get out of here. That's
listen,
not an age
she
gap.
went younger. I would not, if you asked me multiple choice, would Miley go older or younger? I would just think out there she would go older. Again, I don't know her personally. I'm just throwing it out there. She just is like someone that, not saying he's not mature or emotionally mature. I'm
like that you called 6 years an age gap when you're that age. 6 years is an age gap when you're in high school, right? But
27 years old, you still don't know what you're doing.
Get out of here.
No, I take that back. Dax. He's 27. He knows what he's doing. I'm marrying Miley Cyrus. I'm not letting this thing go. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's a smart man.
Yeah, it's but listen, congrats to Miley. I would say this. There's been very few celebrities where I'm just like, oh, I understand why they're a celebrity. When Miley Cyrus walks into a room, you're like, oh, she changes the energy of the room. I don't know what it is. It's something where it's like, it's not even like just, it's not even like star power. It's not star power.
It's like an aura. It is and it isn't. Aura.
That's what it is. It's star aura. There's not like, it's not she walks in like, oh, she's the most famous person. I'm like, oh no. She's famous for a reason. She's talented. Like, she just has this inner confidence where her chest is up. She knows she can own the room. And congrats to Miley Cyrus. This is happy to see her do it in a very cool way, just very subtly. I'm engaged, and she's had a unique career, and not in a bad way. It's fun seeing the different chapters of Miley. She's grown up in the public eye, and now
we're
seeing her.
Can I ask one question over though?
Chapter. Yes.
I need her to keep her eyebrows. That's all I need. when she was
Getting too
dyeing them
thin?
blonde. I don't know. No, she was dyeing them blonde for a while. It weirds me out. I don't like when celebrities dye their eyebrows or like bleach them out so it almost looks like they have no eyebrows. It's so weird. It's so jarring to look at. She has them like brown again, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Miley, because I was really hating the blonde bleached out eyebrows. I don't like that look.
What a statement! What a hot take! I hate your eyebrows. That was some hot take.
The bleached eyebrows plus like the short little bangs. I'm like, no, Miley, don't do that. Stop it.
I personally, my favorite Miley moment was at the VMAs when she was hosting and Nicki Minaj like just kind of went at her, and I thought she just on the spot, like live show, all eyes on her, like it could be a very humiliating thing. And she just kind of like, okay, and just moved on very peacefully. And I thought it was screwed up that Nicki Minaj. And when Nicki, like, she had it in the back of her mind, like, I'm going to set this girl up. And it was kind of, listen, it was fucked up. But that's what Nicki Minaj does. I'm not really a Nicki Minaj fan because I think she just, I think she's good for hip hop because you need that. I understand that with that
people like villains at the end of the day.
People like villains, and I'm just not a Nicki fan. I think it's just overly done at this point. It's like, now you're just looking for attention. All right, that is the Raw Rundown. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give us a review. Go to the Apple Podcast app. Put in Hollywood Raw. Go to the bottom. Say a few kind words. 5 stars. We'll shout you out live on the air. If you've done it already, do it again. Take your partner, your friend, your husband, your kid's phone. Give us a review. Support us, please, because we need it. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. Check out our private Facebook group, Off the Record. Join our community so we could talk to you. You talk to us, and Dax can share nudes with you. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.